I need a truck. And why, might you ask, does a 65-year-old woman retired on Social Security need with a truck? Well, basically, I do all my own home maintenance. I do all my renovations, any heavy work on the place. So I need something that I can haul everything from debris to lumber to furniture to mulch for the garden, because I've got no other options really. So over the past few years, I've been trying to haul everything I needed to haul in my Renegade. And it's sort of worked, but there's a lot of things I can't haul in it. And a couple years ago, I tried hauling mulch that was wet. And even though I put a tarp down in the back, that liquid oozed into places I didn't even know existed. I wound up having to tear the entire car out, scrub it down, and I still had an odor that lingered for about a year. So, yeah, I really do need a truck. Now, my biggest challenge is going to be, how am I going to pay for it once I find a truck? Now, this is not something that I'm going to dip into an emergency fund or retirement funds. Any savings I've got put back, I'm not going to be digging into those. And I live debt free. So taking out a loan for me is not really an option. And quite frankly, my income is so low, I probably couldn't get approved for a loan for a truck. So I have been saving for a really long time to be able to replace the truck I had before. Now, I just want you to take a look at what I found when I started looking at trucks. Holy moly, is it made of gold? Nope. Nope. Are you out of your ever-loving mind? No, I don't think so. What do you think? Would you pay that much for a truck in retirement? Do you take out loans for your vehicles after retirement? Or are you willing to drive like an old beater to keep from, having to get a loan? Now, it was obvious that I was not going to be able to afford a later model truck. They're just completely out of my price range. So I did start looking at some of the old beater trucks around. But what I found was they had a lot of rust. And they also were pretty high in miles. Because, once you get a truck, you don't often get rid of them. You usually drive them until they're pretty much done. And for me to buy a truck with high miles, you're looking at possibly having to do some major repairs soon after you get it, which could optimally double what I paid for the truck. So by the time it was all said and done, that was kind of going to put me out of my price range too. The math just wasn't mathing. So what was I supposed to do? Because relying on others really isn't much of an option for me, because my family members live just far enough away that for them to help me do pickups, deliveries, help me out with a truck whenever I needed help, it was going to take a full day out of their time to help me out. And, we just don't want to have to ask for that much help after we retire. So, what did I decide? Well, I find that many times the solution to our problems has been under our nose the whole time. So, I got to thinking, and there is one vehicle that I think is going to pretty much suit my needs. Now, this is not an open truck, but I do have a trailer, so anything I can't haul in the back of this vehicle, I can actually just pull a trailer behind. So I think I can make this work. Okay, so here she is. In 1992, I purchased a 1984 Chevy Suburban C10 Silverado. It has been in storage for the last 23 years after the transmission went out. This was my mom-mobile. I loved it. Now, after sitting for 23 years, I had my doubts as to whether or not I was going to be able to salvage it. But it had been stored in a machine shop on rubber mats. Now, the rubber mats was successful in keeping the moisture from rising up and causing rust on the chassis, undercarriage, and all that. So it is still really solid. Now, after putting pen to paper, even with replacing the transmission, I should be able to restore my Suburban for less than what I would have to pay to buy a truck. So, am I crazy? Or do you think this might be a win? I mean, she looks pretty rough right now, and I got a lot of work to do, but I do have someone that's going to help me do the heavy mechanical work like the transmission, because there is no way I've got the strength to be able to lift and maneuver that transmission into place. But with help, I'm going to be able to do it. Now, after I get help with the heavy stuff that I can't do on my own, then I'm going to go ahead and finish the restoration on my own. Now, there's going to be things that I have done in the past, and there are going to be things that I'm going to be learning how to do as I work my way through it. So, I can't be real sure how this is going to turn out, but I don't feel like I've got a lot of options, and what do I have to lose? I mean, if I don't fix it up, I'm just going to have to get rid of it anyway. So, on my limited budget, I'm going to take a chance. And you know what? If you come along with me on this, you're either going to see an old woman succeed, or you're going to laugh your butt off watching her try. So you might as well come back next week where I give you the full history of the Suburban, and I get started with some of the minor things that I have to do, and we'll just see what happens. So I hope you come back next week. Come back and see me. We'll talk again soon, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye-bye.